New York City never sleeps, and neither does a love like this. When two young hearts collide in the middle of a family war, every moment matters. Stay with me until the very end, because one late-night decision in this story changes everything, and you will want to see how it all plays out. Chapter 1. The night New York picked sides. I was working the door that night, the kind of side gig you take when you want rent money and a front row seat to the city's secrets. The party was on a Brooklyn rooftop with a view that made people feel important. Manhattan glittered like it was listening. That's when I saw her. Lena Hart, 20, long red hair catching the light like a warning. She didn't move like the other guests. They floated, showing off. She watched, measuring the room the way you measure a storm. Then the elevator opened again, and the air changed. Eli Cruz, 21, stepped out with the calm confidence of someone born into power. His family ran one of the biggest construction and development groups in the city. Her family ran the legal machine that tried to stop them at every turn. Their last public battle was so loud it ended up in headlines and on talk radio. Two families. Two names. One city. And both of them had been raised to believe the other side was the enemy. Lena and Eli noticed each other across the crowd. It wasn't a cute, casual glance. It was recognition, like they'd been warned about each other their whole lives, and now the warning had a face. Someone bumped my shoulder, asking for VIP wristbands. I handled it, but my eyes kept drifting back. Eli walked toward the balcony for air. Lena did the same. A minute later, like the city itself pulled them to the edge, that I watched them stand a few feet apart, pretending they weren't together, pretending the space between them wasn't charged. Then Lena spoke first, quiet and sharp. "You're lost." Eli's mouth twitched, almost a smile. Or maybe I finally found the right rooftop. New York wind moved between them. The city noise rose and fell. And for a second, the feud that had filled courtrooms and boardrooms shrank into something smaller. Two young people trying to breathe in the same place. Chapter 2. A coffee shop truce. I didn't expect to see them again. Rooftop parties are like fireworks, bright, quick, gone. But 3 days later, I was inside a small coffee shop near Washington Square Park, writing notes for my next shift, when the door opened and in walked Eli. He looked different without the suit. Still sharp, but less armored. A minute after that, Lena walked in, hood up, like she didn't want the world to claim her. They spotted each other and froze. I should have looked away, but it's hard not to watch a city-sized mistake forming in real time. Eli spoke first. "I didn't plan this." Lena glanced around. Neither did I. They ordered separately, then ended up at the same narrow counter, because New York loves forcing people close. Their hands reached for the same napkin holder. They pulled back at the same time, both annoyed, both smiling despite themselves. That I heard pieces of their conversation, simple and human. Lena was in school and interning at her mother's firm. She talked about housing cases, about families being pushed out, about how power always found a way to win. Eli talked about buildings like they were puzzles. He admitted his father didn't care who got hurt as long as a project landed on time. He said it like a confession, not a defense. "You don't have to be him," Lena said. "You don't have to be her," Eli answered. That line hit her hard. She stared at him like he'd reached behind her ribs and touched something private. That I saw it then. They weren't flirting for fun. They were looking for a way out of the roles they'd been handed. When they left, they didn't walk together. They just stepped into the same street, turned in the same direction, and kept a careful distance that fooled nobody. Chapter 3. The city becomes a secret. After that, New York started hiding them. They met in places where nobody asked last names. Late-night diners with cracked booths, quiet corners of the Met where tourists drifted like background noise, subway platforms where the air smelled like metal and rain. Sometimes I saw them from a distance, because my work took me all over the city. Once, near a mural in the Lower East Side, I watched Eli lean in close and say something that made Lena laugh with her whole face, like she'd forgotten she was supposed to be careful. They built a small world inside the big one. But they were always looking over their shoulders. One night, I saw them on the Brooklyn Bridge around midnight. The bridge was half empty, the river black under it, the skyline sharp like teeth. Eli held Lena's hand for a moment, then let go when a cyclist passed, like they were trying to keep their love from being seen by the wrong eyes. Lena's voice carried in the wind. "If they find out, it's over." Eli didn't hesitate. "Then we don't let them find out." She shook her head. "You say that like New York doesn't have cameras everywhere." He stepped closer. "I'm not scared of cameras. I'm scared of losing you." The way she looked at him then, I knew she felt the same. But love doesn't erase history. It just asks you to challenge it. They stood there with the city roaring around them, and for a second they looked like the only two people alive. Chapter 4. The Post That Lit the Fire. The truth is, secrets in New York aren't kept. They're rented. And the rent always goes up. It happened on a night that was supposed to be safe. A charity event in Midtown, all polished smiles and staged kindness. Lena was there because her mother was being honored. Eli was there because his father had bought half the tables. They didn't speak. They didn't even look at each other for long. But there was a moment near the service hallway where they crossed paths and brushed hands, quick as a heartbeat. That was all it took. Someone's phone caught it. A blurry clip, but clear enough for the internet to do what it does best, decide the story before hearing it. By midnight, it was trending in certain circles. By morning, it was everywhere that mattered to their families. I didn't see the fights behind closed doors, but I heard about them through staff and security guys who talked too much. Lena's mother called Eli a threat. Eli's father called Lena a trap. Both families acted like the relationship wasn't real, like it was a trick played on them by the other side. And then the pressure turned personal. Lena stopped showing up at the places she used to go. Eli's friends suddenly became his watchers. Drivers were reassigned. Schedules changed. Doors that used to open started closing. Still, they found each other. I saw them outside a luxury venue one night, paparazzi flashes popping like lightning. Lena looked shaken. Eli stood in front of her, blocking cameras with his body like he could shield her from the whole city. "Talk to me," he said, urgent. "I can't breathe," Lena whispered. Eli took her hand. "Then we leave. We make our own air." In New York, leaving sounds easy until you try it. The city is built to keep you moving, but it's also built to keep you trapped in who you're supposed to be. Chapter 5. A plan written between train lines. They chose Grand Central Terminal for the meeting, because it's the kind of place where goodbyes and beginnings share the same floor. I was there that night too, cutting through the terminal after a late shift. The ceiling glowed like a painted sky. Footsteps echoed. The city felt quieter than usual, like it was holding its breath. Lena stood near a bench with a small bag at her feet. She kept checking her phone. Not the casual kind of checking. The kind you do when your whole life depends on one message. Eli arrived fast, hair damp from the winter air, eyes locked on her like she was home. They didn't kiss right away. They argued first, low voices, too intense to be just drama. Lena wanted to run. Not for romance, but for peace. She talked about a small place upstate, finishing school, starting over where nobody cared who their parents were. Eli wanted to fight. He talked about exposing the corruption, forcing the truth into the open, making their families back down. "You can't win against them," Lena said. "They'll turn it into a war." Eli's jaw tightened. "It's already a war." Lena's eyes shined, but she didn't let tears fall. "I don't want to be the reason you lose everything." He stepped closer. "You're the reason I finally know what I want." The loudspeaker announced a departing train. People hurried past, carrying luggage and coffee and normal lives. Lena pulled a folded note from her pocket and pressed it into his hand. "If we do this, we do it my way. Quiet. No headlines." Eli looked down at the note, then back at her. His face was torn between rage at the world and love for her. And standing there in the middle of New York, surrounded by strangers, they had to decide what kind of story they were going to be. Chapter 6. Midnight on the Bridge. The last time I saw them, it was near the water, not far from the Brooklyn Bridge. Dawn was still on its way, and the city looked softer, almost innocent. Lena stood by the railing, arms wrapped around herself. She looked like someone who'd grown up too fast and was tired of carrying other people's battles. Eli approached slowly, careful, like one wrong step could scare her off. He held something small in his hand, not flashy, not meant for show. When he reached her, they didn't speak for a moment. They just listened to the river and the distant traffic. Then Lena said, "Do you ever think about how easy it would be if we'd met in a different life?" Eli answered, "I think about how I don't want a different life. I just want this one to stop hurting you." He offered her the small thing in his hand. Not a promise of luxury, a promise of choice. Lena took it, fingers trembling. She looked up at him, and I saw it clearly. Love, yes, but also fear. Because love in a feud doesn't stay private. It becomes a headline, a weapon, a warning. They stepped closer, foreheads almost touching, like they were trying to borrow courage from each other. The city behind them began to brighten. Morning doesn't solve problems, but it reveals them. And whatever decision they made next, I knew it would echo through both families, through courtrooms and boardrooms, through every street that had hidden them. New York had watched them fall in love. Now New York was waiting to see what it would cost. If you enjoyed this modern New York romance, help the channel grow. Subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the like button, and tell me in the comments what you think Lena and Eli should do next. And if you know someone who loves dramatic love stories, share this video with them.